right, and now we discussed, let's say, the history a bit of display advertising, how it works, and now we're going to move towards influencer marketing a bit, and then we're going to see, let's say, how influencer marketing is maybe following the same historical steps that display advertising has gone through. That's one. And then we're going to say how we combined both elements, so both positives, the scalability of display advertising, but the effectiveness of influencer marketing, and how we were able to distill in my opinion, really effective format to reach audiences. So again, this is a bit like the first example that I showed here. You have, let's say you do influencer marketing in an unsupported way, and you're the advertiser. Oops, I went a bit too far. You have like, let's say you want to work with an influencer. It's really hard to work manually with influencer. With one, it's still feasible, but if you want to work with multiple influencers, like you might want to work with multiple publishers, it's a really hard thing to do, because there are a lot of things that steps that needs to be taken before you can actively launch the campaign and collaborate with the influencers. Like, you have to come up with a campaign ID, you have to establish a database of relevant influencers who can promote your brand, you have to reach out to them, you have to negotiate with them, you have to monitor the performance, you have to assess the campaign, and also you have to arrange the payment. So if you have to do all these things, you need a lot of expertise and a lot of time and effort, and it requires a lot of effort to work with an influencer. It takes a lot of time for one influencer, and if you work with 10, it's basically undoable. So again, the same situation happened to improve this lack of efficiency in this format, which is called influencer marketing at the moment, but in previous years, let's say it was, for example, display advertising. What happened is ad networks started to appear to facilitate, let's say, the collaborations between influencers and advertisers. So influencers can be considered the modern day publishers, let's say, and to facilitate this. And I'm just going to show how we do it, but of course there are other networks, but for me it's more easy to let's say, showcase how AdShop does it. So how we do it is, instead of taking all these individual steps, we have built a software which makes it really, let's say, easy to select the right influencers and to create a campaign. So basically here you're selecting influencers. They are ready. You don't have to, let's say, determine the price, negotiate the price, because they're all in there. You have to find their contact details because they're already available on the platform, and so on. So we tackle a lot of things with our software, which can therefore be considered as some kind of ad network, modern day ad network. Then you can also easily manage the campaign itself, which will also take some time. Like, okay, you have the advert, you have the applicants, and then you can see, like, okay, you can do the budget control that you don't go over budget, and you can see who you're eventually wanting to hire for your campaign, see who applied to participate in your campaign. Already a huge time saver as well. And then, of course, also important, you don't have to manually keep on visiting the participating channel of each influencer. The content and the performance metrics are delivered directly to your doorstep. So again, this is taking away some time. It's making the process more efficient. But if it's from an honest point of view, it's making it scalable, but not super scalable like display advertising, because you still need to come up with a campaign. You still need to select the right influencers and vet the influencers that you're willing to endorse. So it still takes up some time to do this. So it is more scalable through a network. It's completely not scalable if you do it individually, but still it's not as scalable as display advertising. But the funny thing is that the advantages of display marketing are the disadvantages of influencer marketing, and the advantages of influencer marketing are the disadvantages of display marketing. So what this means is, here, what are the advantages? Like, for example, the high click conversion ratio was an issue with display advertisements because they don't get clicked a lot. This is way better for influencer marketing because influencers really can steer and motivate and incentivize their audience to take action when they're showing an ad or doing a collaboration with a brand. It's also ad block free. It's super credible because it's vouched for by the influencer, let's say. So basically, these are all kind of things that are a disadvantage of display advertising. We also, like, if you do it with an ad network, we also have the same budget control, and it's also a highly visual format, just like normal display advertising. So some things are the same, and the downsides are, like I said, the upsides of display advertising. So it's not super scalable. Display advertising, you can just fill in a budget as high as you want. There will always be sufficient ad inventory to buy, and it's super scalable. It's easy to set up. It takes like a minimum amount of effort because you just have to do some clicks, upload your banner, and everything's going. It also requires some knowledge. Again, like tools like AdShop take away the requirement of knowledge to a certain extent, but of course you need some kind of feeling with influencer marketing, in my opinion, before you're going to start with it. Can be a limited feeling or a limited experience, but you need some knowledge, I think. And also, like I said in the beginning, in influencer marketing, it's not possible to do individual targeting. Like I said with the car glass example, once again, it's not possible. Like here, everybody will see the same banner on the Twitch, whether you're watching from Canada, watching from Belgium, watching from another country. Everybody will see the same register on adshop.io, because that's the message that the influencer can do, and it doesn't change dynamically based on certain cookie threads like it does in like it does in display advertising. But like I said, this super contextual targeting can also have its downsides, like people think about privacy issues and have a big brother feeling. So it's not always that positive as well.